here, Becky. I'll add you on, I promise.
Here, we're going to go for it. Here we go. Let's try this. It's West Coast Ramble. This week we've got Gene Ski, original performer of the hit song 6 Foot Down. Then we've got Brazilian siren Cherry Rat. Maybe she'll play a song for us. Then meet SoCal artist Becky Lynn Blanca. She's in the sandbox. And we'll be sharing thoughts on the passing of legend Little Richard. It's West Coast Ramble with your host Big Sandy, Hope Paul, and me, Tom. Hey guys, it's West Coast Ramble episode 53. Can you believe it? And we're going to jump right into this. We've got so many things going on right now. Hey, Paul, what's going on? What'd you do this week?
Well, I've been doing a lot of yard work. And besides that, though, I'm pretty bummed to hear about Little Richard passing today. So that pretty much dominated the morning for me, just reminiscing and thinking about the first time I was introduced to Little Richard was once again because of my grandma Carol, and she loved him, and it was really cool to hear about a guy that, was a rock star and then struggled with his religion and went back to, performing, and made a lot of people happy with the music that he thought was, potentially evil for a bit. But then he, realized that the music was a blessing in itself. And I don't know, just such an iconic performer. You can't really say enough about him. Yeah.
I think for me, basically just The Girl Can't Help It. Whenever you see that in the bright color and his band is going full bore, everyone's all dressed up cool, that's like the epitome of 50s rock and roll right there. So I like that part. But of course, Big Sandy, I know you got some stories on Little Richards, and I've seen your post today too. So what's your thoughts, Big Sandy?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll give my thoughts, but I agree with you. The Girl Can't Help It. That is it, man. The world changed, man. The world is now in vivid, this beautiful new colors, and there's new music that was spreading around the world, man. It's something else, and I'm sure most people out there have seen The Girl Can't Help It. If you haven't, you really need to do it. But yeah, all those rock and roll films are there's some good ones in there. But today, my day started actually. Paul, I think you let us know that about Richard's passing. I woke up to a text from you, and it was one of those things that he's not been doing too well for a little while now. So it's a thing that we knew was coming, but still, it's such a crushing blow. The man was really so instrumental in creating the music that really changed the world. He was just like from another planet. He kind of pushed the boundaries so far that the boundaries kind of came back a little bit and ended up settling into a new place. But he kind of it's almost like he had to be so extreme even to move that line a little bit, But just broke down racial barriers. He had his this sexuality you're never quite sure about, and that made it for just some people more dangerous. To other people, that kind of, it's safe. We don't mind him being around our daughters because he's so outrageous. They're not going to go for somebody like that. He would always talk about things like that. But in his heart, he always had this spirituality that he kept coming back to at different times in his life, and I think that's where he settled. And to me, that I don't. No matter what you believe, it's always good if you can come back to what's in your heart. And I know he was in a really good place in his last days because he had come back to some of his earlier convictions. I don't mean those kind. He did get in trouble with the law in the early days because he was so outrageous. Yeah. But it just gives me peace of mind that he was in a good place in his heart and soul. But what he did for rock and roll music, just he was just out of sight, man. Just with the most kick-ass band, just badass rock and roll, rhythm and blues, and just man. Let's listen to some Little Richard records when this show is over, and that can say the music speaks more than anything we can talk about right here.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of cool posts from people like Axel Elizardi. He had a cool post in Riverside where he grew up, and I guess his Little Richard's mom lived there, and he actually got, when he was a kid, in the 80s, he got Little Richard to sign his album for him, and just cool stories of everyone rubbing elbows with the guy. So it was pretty cool. But
for me, it's there's a lot of memories connected with him, not only for the music, but to go see him perform. And that when I go see other artists that I adore, I'm not the kind of person to try to, bother them. I don't want to bother them or go backstage. But I knew my mother for all of her life has wanted to meet him. So I said, I'm going to get back there. And sure enough, we got backstage and she was hanging out with him in the green room, was dancing with him. And that just warmed my heart. And Little Richard, you're going to be missed. You will be missed. But of course, the music will live on.
Well, thanks, Big Sandy. And, of course, we got music going on right here. We got a great show going on for us. Hey, Paul, give us a quick 30-second rundown of who is on the show this week.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I have an old friend of mine in the Sandbox with Becky, Lynn. And then we're going to have a rockabilly legend, Gene Ski, join us after that. And then we're going to wrap up the show with the one and only Cherry Rat.
Ooh, my goodness. Yeah, this show is laden with a couple beautiful women. And I don't know if this show can handle it anymore.
I can handle it. I can dig it, man. Rock and roll.
Yeah, we got it all on the West Coast Ramble.
Yeah.
But friends, before we get going, we got to do a little soliciting, if you don't mind. If you look over here, we got our PayPal, and you can hit us up over there, or our Venmo right there if you feel inclined to help us out a little bit. We spread it around to us and the performers we got. And also wanted to say if you get $10 or more, send your address to me in the notes, and you're going to get one of these West Coast Ramble stickers. And then, hey, Big Sandy, I heard that you've got some kind of deal going on. What was your offer?
Well, here's what we're going to do you don't do it yet, but for the first 2 people who use the code word with a $20 donation, the first 2, we're going to do a combination giveaway. One of the giveaways for 2 different people is going to be the CD version of Big Sandy and the Fire Right Boys. That's us. CD version of our new Freddie Fender tribute. That's this. We just got them in. Be the first on your block to get one. So for 2 people, it's going to be one of these CDs, and I'm going to reach it. You can't. It's off camera. I have a bunch of record boxes. I'm going to reach into the brown record box right there and pick out. It's going to be a mystery 45. So the first person who, and once again, this is for a CD and a mystery 45. The first person to donate $20 with the words "Little Richard" attached to your donation. We'll get the combined price. Okay.
The secret code is Little Richard. Nice work, Big Sandy. And you're very charitable to the people. Okay, friends, here's what we're going to do. Oh, we just did, we've got an ad here coming up because tomorrow at 1 p.m. California time, we've got Stellar Shows is doing the Harpist Heroes. And you can check out that show tomorrow. And then when we come back, we're going to have the, how do you say in your country, Big Sandy Sandbox. But check out this commercial for Stellar Shows Heroes for tomorrow. All right, Big Sandy, I got a question for you. Are you ready to get in the sandbox, sir?
I am ready indeed.
Rolling the promo.
Big Sandy's Sandbox.
All right, take it away, young Big Sandy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I've been telling this story to a lot of people. Right when this whole quarantine lockdown started with the coronavirus thing, almost right out of the gate, there was a person who started taking to the internet with music and smiles every day, the Power Hour, and it became something to really look forward to. And I could just the way people were responding, and my own personal response was to try to be a little more positive in the outlook for this whole thing that was going on. Ladies and gentlemen, Becky, Lynn, Blanca, welcome aboard. Hey, welcome to the Sandbox. Now,
Hi.
Becky, are times that tough? I know we're going through tough times. That you're living in a bucket now, or what?
Well, it's time for my monthly bath, whether I need it or not.
Okay, yeah. So I guess you probably set up in your backyard there, is it?
Sure I am. Yep.
Yeah.
Where it all began.
And a lot of us have felt like we're getting to know your living situation, your backyard. You've done other shows in other parts of the house there. And people, they've like I said in my post yesterday, it's just nothing but joy, like pure joy that you bring with your music, but also with just your general demeanor, your smiles, and just the way you talk. But just so people who have only seen you perform might not know your background, are you originally from Los Angeles? Or?
Yeah, I'm a native. I'm born and raised. So the house here in Sherman Oaks, we've been here since '94. And I've moved around, but I always come back. I started a band called Don Juan y Los Blancos, which I think is probably back when I met you, and we were on Wild for a time. And then we kind of evolved into Los Blancos, which I still have now. And in the last 5 or 6 years, I've started doing jazz with my group Penny Matches.
Right, yeah, with our buddy Dave Stuckey, who I can see he's watching here.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the good ones are checking in today.
Yeah.
So just because I'm really fascinated by what you've been doing, like I mean, it's like every day at 1:00. I say, oh, it's 1:00 already, because I'll get that notification. No, how many times do you know how many shows you've done in the course of this thing?
Today was my 53rd.
53 shows.
Yeah.
And virtually pretty much in a row, right? I mean.
Yeah, every day for an hour or more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And how did it evolve? Or how did that come about? Did you decide right away, I'm going to do this every day, or what led you into that?
No, it was just my first night of self-quarantining was Monday night, the 16th. And I just went live on Instagram, just did a few songs. I don't think I played all that long. And then a friend of mine asked me, when are you going to do it again? And I was like, well, I guess I'll do it tomorrow. And she was like, tomorrow, what time? And I was like, well, I guess 1, and then I did the first one at 1, and I got such an incredible response. Like it was insane. I realized that like people were already really, really sad and kind of needed like a little bright spot. So I just, at the end of that, I was like, I guess we'll be back tomorrow at 1 and every day until everybody can leave again. And it just kind of made sense to me at the time, because like, well, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. And it's so cool to see the comments that you get, and other people have just told me, just in other conversations outside of the internet world, like actually on the phone, people are actually communicating and talking again, other than just texting like we had been doing. But I just hear people tell me how much they look forward to that, how you've lifted them up, even maybe some of them have gone away for a little bit and come back to it. But you just lifted so many hearts and spirits. Aww. But has there been like maybe any unexpected rewards in it for you?
I mean, the rewards have been innumerable. It's interesting because like if I went to medical school or something, I would have wanted to do like triage and like help people,
Right.
But like all I can do is just sing songs, and like people, it's helping. That's why I felt kind of like a responsibility to do it, because I'm like, I don't know, but like when I do this and I giggle, then you giggle, right? So
yeah,
it's got to be something good. And just having a goal, like I feel accountable, excuse me, to all the people that tune in every day, because I'm like, well, I have to get up, I have to shower, I have to put on makeup because they're going to be there, and my playing keeps getting better. The songs my songwriting is getting stronger. It's like, it's great for everyone. I mean, it benefits me and gives me a real like sense of purpose.
Well, that's awesome. So it has been a two-way street,
Very much so. Cool. Yeah, very much.
Well, I tell you, I guess we could I could tell people on and on about how wonderful you sound and make people feel, but can we get a sample of something there?
Yeah, you want me to sing a song?
Yeah.
I got a song for you. It's not mine. It's a song by the Two Man Gentleman Band, but I think it's very appropriate for right now. So we'll give it a go. Make sure your cups are full for this one. Yeah. Oh, dear Lord, I know times are getting hard. There ain't no good jobs to be had. And oh, dear Jesus, I thought it was your job to keep us, even when the economy gets bad. Oh, but you left me feeling so alone. And all my money's gone. But that's alright, 'cause I can get drunk and I can sing songs. Oh, dear Lord, I want a drink I can't afford. There ain't $1 that I can call mine. And oh, dear Jesus, do a favor for your believer. Rustle up some whiskey or some wine or tequila for Big Sandy, for you left me feeling so alone. And all my money's gone, but that's alright, 'cause I can get drunk and I can sing songs. Here comes the trumpet. Oh, you left me feeling so alone. And all my money's gone. But that's alright, 'cause I can get drunk and I can sing songs. Oh, I can get drunk and I can sing songs. Yes, I can get drunk and I can sing songs.
The perfect song for our times.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, but which one are you better at?
Oh, I don't. You tell me. You would know.
I don't know. It's a pretty even. You're on an even keel with each other. I love how with every slight movement, there's a little bit of water that's.
Full of water.
I
I could have not filled it. You never would have known. But
I didn't know this was going to be a science project here about water displacement. And see,
you calling me Big Sandy?
Well, I tell you, I could. I just by hearing the bit we did, I know we're going to have you back, and maybe like a live in person show when things open up, and that's going to happen very very soon. So, well, man, we have to move on. I'm going to have to turn to our producer here. It'd be nice. Hey, play a little. Can you do a quick little song, just a little bit of something? I know people want.
I would do loving is a thing that I crave. For your love, I'll be your slave. Oh, gotta give me some. Yeah, give me some. I crave your loving, man. Why don't you give me some? Said Miss Jones to Butcher Pete, I'd like a piece of that good old meat. Oh, you better give me some. Yeah, give me some. I crave that rum steak, man. Why don't you give me some?
I love it.
Is that enough? I don't want to go over my time.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Becky. And we lost Big Sandy's audio. What happened on that?
Oh no!
He muted for the song.
I forgot I was muted there. If only somebody else could mute me in real life, to cut out the parts that they shouldn't hear. Thank you, Becky, Lynn, Blanca.
Thank you so much.
That.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Hey,
it's so good to hear
you
you
again.
again.
See there, she's falling on hard
Paul.
times there. Doesn't even have a dress to her name to wear, and she's living out of that little bucket there. Please donate now. All right.
All right. Thanks, Becky.
Good to see you guys. Thank you so much, Paul. Thanks, Sandy. Thank you, Tom.
Okay,
Later,
guys.
Becky.
Bye.
So, with that in mind, hey, Big Sandy, I got something to tell you.
Okay.
A gal named Tracy has donated enough money to get the Big Sandy special. And,
Okay.
And then Tiffany from Lompoc, she was donated and got the Big Sandy special as well.
Well, thank you. Thanks, both of you for doing that, and thank you to all the losers up there. That doesn't sound right. Let me. Maybe I should mute myself again here.
No. Well,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and
I will send those out Monday.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't spill the beans so fast, but like people jumped right on it. It's pretty exciting. So people are listening. Thank you for watching. Okay, hey, that leads us to the next part of our show. My good friend Pope Paul, who's not really a pope, that's just a stage name, but he actually played his first gig since he's been in quarantine, but he played a gig, and I want him to confess and tell us what the gig was like and what happened, and if people kicked him out for wearing the wrong mask or I don't know what happened with you. But Paul, we're gonna do Pope Paul's confessions. Please watch this, and then Paul will tell us what happened at his first gig. Here we go.
Pope Paul's confessions.
All right, Paul, what happened last night?
All right, guys. Well, my good friend and guitar master, Anthony Casagna, he offered me a gig at the restaurant where his father works, the Big Hen. I'm horrible, I forgot the name, but it was in Newport Beach off of Balboa. And, I wasn't hesitant to say yes because I do miss playing, but I was, thinking, what am I getting myself into? Is it going to be an empty room? Is it going to be crazy? So then just driving into Balboa, there's still a lot of people on bikes and stuff, and not everybody was wearing masks, but I was made more comfortable. I literally didn't have to touch a door or anything, taking my gear into there. And then before I knew it, I was just letting Anthony help me carry stuff in. We didn't hug or, really shake hands or stuff like that. But, we got set up and we got to it, and it was great. People were dying to see anybody play. People driving by on their bikes or cruising by, walking, throwing tips for us in the jar, stuff like that. So, and we even, had people in the bar, socially distanced apart, a couple tables away. People were wearing masks. Some people weren't wearing masks.
Yeah.
I was wearing a mask. So, and then at the end, coming home, we disinfected the money. All of my gear, I brought it in one at a time. I sprayed down the bass case, my mic stands, the iPads, iPhones, stuff like that. So it's definitely a weird time.
Yeah.
But it feels good to, take a few steps to getting back to normal.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this as a joke at all. I am sincere about the way I'm talking about this. So it was an experience. It felt really good to play live again.
Yeah.
I've been lacking that, but there was still a little bit of fear. Like how close is this guy getting to me?
Yeah.
Like how many random strangers are going to walk by?
Yeah.
So that's my confession for the week, guys.
All right, yeah, and I want to play too. And in fact, West Coast Ramble, starting next week, we're going to start doing some live band stuff. I'll give you guys some information on it. But we're going to try to get people. I found a big studio where the players can be far apart from each other, and I've got a special camera in there. We're going to try it out, see what you guys think. If you don't mind tuning in next Tuesday night at 8:00, tell us what you think. And if it starts working out, we're going to try to get some other bands in there. Maybe the Big Sandy. I don't know. Once we get our bugs worked out of the system, but we'll see. I think it's about time we start playing music, and we'll do it the right way. So, anyways, hey, that means we got someone else coming up, and
that's right. And before we go into that, while we're getting that set up here, I just want to ask a favor of everyone out there. If you can, if you're watching in right now, like maybe you have it on your phone, you see that there's a little share button. If you could share the show, maybe it'll start a watch party, or even send a message real quick to another friend. Just pass it along. We're trying to get as many people on here to be part of the thing we do here, but especially for this next guy. He means a lot to me, and as a lot of the original guys do. it's more each day that passes. It's the original guys are more and more of a blessing. And okay, maybe we could tilt it down a little bit there. Where okay. All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this next guy to me has been very special. He recorded a record on the Sarah label called 6 Foot Down. I found that record when I was on a road trip in the 80s in Phoenix, Arizona. And I just loved it immediately, not knowing that later down the line, I'd end up getting to talk to the guy and now to become friends with the guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to West Coast Ramble, Gene Ski. Hello, Gene. How you doing today?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Well, the show's been going well. In general, I've been good. This week, I've been a little nervous out of excitement for having you on. So thank you for taking the time to be on the show this evening.
Well, thank you for considering me to be on your show. It's a pleasure to be with you, Sandy, and I hope someday down the road we can meet in person.
We would that will happen for sure. I'll make a point of setting that up. And for the folks who might not know, what part of the country are you coming to us from right now?
Well, I'm over in Ironwood, Michigan at the moment.
But you're a Wisconsin guy, though, right? I mean, that's
yeah,
that's how I know you.
This is not my home stomping ground up here, but we moved up here about, I think, 3 years ago or whatever it was. And I'm planning actually to move to Iowa from here.
Oh, Iowa. Okay. That makes sense. I know I know a little someone that'll be happy about that. Happy to hear that.
There's some good pickers down there that I met. And one of the pickers used to stay with us a while back, and he's a guitar player and stuff. So I hope to get some CDs and stuff made down there with them.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a little bit more about that in just a while. But, just to kind of back up, like, when did you first start playing music? Were you just a young kid, or like about how old were you?
Well, actually, I did my first song. I got about 5, 6 years old with my dad. And somebody out there, of course, applauded, and I was hooked from that time on.
and so your dad was already a musician, but had a band going?
Yes. Yeah, he was a guitar.
What was the name of the outfit that what did he perform under his own name, or was there a name for the group?
Not at that time, no.
So he was just doing local shows around town?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And as you got a little bit older, were there any what were you listening to? What kind of musical influences did you have?
I was actually influenced with all the early Nashville stuff from Roy Acuff on up to Jimmy Rogers and stuff like that, up to Johnny Cash and some of the later ones, Willie Nelson, whatever.
Yeah. And did you ever get a chance to work with any of the names like that?
Yes, I did. Worked with little Jimmy Dickens in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at a place called Next Knickerbob.
Okay.
That was back in the 70s.
Okay. Yeah, so that was a little bit later then.
Meet Merle Kilgore there, and he's the one, I don't know if you know that or not, but he's the one that wrote Ring of Fire.
He also made some great records earlier in his career on the Imperial label back in the 50s, and I know his connection with Johnny Cash and all that.
I did meet him and talk with him too, and a few other ones. Hank Thompson was another one I got a chance to spend some time with there in Milwaukee.
That's awesome. So once you started playing playing locally, like with your outfit, the Troubadours, which I know you had your brother in the band and your father playing along too. Was there any other family members that were playing with you? Just those two, or?
That was all the family. Yeah, there was my dad and my brother, and then we had a drummer that worked with us too, steady. Harry Wolf on the record too. So.
And I'm just really fascinated by that song 6 Foot Down. It's I've always wondered about it. Like, how did you come to write that? Because it's kind of, it's not the usual topic for kind of a rockin' song. I won't say it's like morbid, but it kind of is. But kind of in the folk kind of way. Just maybe can you tell us the background of that song? Or how did that come about?
Well, it's kind of funny that you'd mentioned that. The flip side of it was called Feeling Bad. And I put a lot of time and effort into it and all this stuff and whatever. We had to have something that was supposed to be the A side of the record. And we had to put something together for the other side. So I didn't have a whole lot of time. And I don't know, that it just came up to my thinking of whatever was on that day. But ended up writing that song about 6 foot down. And it took off for whatever reason, The lines in it, the dandelion thing, I don't really know what made it catchy, but
well, it's a very catchy song, but it's kind of timeless. Like it really, to me, it sounds. I thought, well, maybe this is like some old like an old English folk tune or some kind of Irish sort of or Scottish ballad. I mean, it sounds like really like something that's existed forever, and that maybe you updated, but that's not the case at all. It's purely your own, right?
Yeah, no, I wrote that all out on my own. Like I said, that just kind of came to me. I had to come up with something quick, and that melody just kind of got kicking around in my head, playing with it, and next thing you know, the song came up.
Well, to me it's interesting because you're in the Rockabilly Hall of Fame, which you probably didn't know about that for a while, huh? Like, but also that song has become a classic to so many rock and rollers of the modern era over the last few decades. Every time I go to a rock and roll show, I'll hear that song. The DJ's playing that song. Were you aware of that at any point along the way, and if so, how did you find out about that?
Yeah, I got a hold of I got a hold of Jim Kirsten, who was the guy that actually published the song in his studio there in Sauk City, Wisconsin, under the Sarah label, and he was telling me different that some guy had done it in rap and different artists that had done the song and stuff. So that's what got my curiosity going on the whole thing. And at that time, I didn't even know I was in the Rockabilly Hall of Fame.
Well, just speaking of rockabilly, were you more a fan of country music? Did you listen to any rock and roll or rockabilly at the time?
Yeah, do a lot of Jerry Lee Lewis stuff and Gene Vincent and some of those guys.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
So it was kind of I did rock and roll, so it was kind of an in between.
Did you hear the term? Did you hear the term rockabilly being used back then at all?
Not back then so much, no.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I heard a story about like you somehow ended up in California, like in Hollywood. Can you tell a story connected with that?
Yeah, I was up there and I was going to try to promote my record that I had carrying with me, and I was walking actually on Sunset Boulevard, and there was just a sign up that the guy did recording and stuff. So I went in there to see if I could listen to my record, and I was talking with the secretary, and the guy that ran the place, his door was partially open, and he heard me yakking out there, and he motioned for her to let me go back in his office. So I went back there, and he had a record player right on his desk there. He was on the phone with somebody, and I handed him my record, and he looked at it and put it on his player there and started playing it and hung up on whoever he was talking to. And wanted me to stick around for about 6 months and do whatever, because he was real busy at the time doing fairs and stuff. So he didn't have no time to spend. And anyway, I got busy with life and went on down the road and never did get back to him. But I think he's the one that might have put that in Rockabilly Hall of Fame. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Well, but because he had a connection with the Beach Boys as well. Isn't that true?
He was the manager and the head promoter, for the Beach Boys.
Oh, man, Gene, you came so close. Man, you should have signed whatever. Who knows what would have happened, Yeah,
I had a lot of opportunities, and it seemed like I always had to be going somewhere else at the time. But it's been a journey. I've enjoyed all of it.
But you're still making music, and that's awesome. Recently, I got an unexpected message on Facebook with a clip of you doing an updated version of 6 Foot Down, kind of tailored for the times. Very kind of a current theme. Can you tell us about that briefly, and then play the song?
Yeah, I did it with kind of more of a rock format, with just a little bit different rhythm style, but. I could do it for you if you want to hear
please.
it.
Yeah, let's hear it. What is it called now? It's not 6 Foot Down. What is it now?
It's still 6 Foot Down.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I thought it was 6 Foot Around.
Oh, I've got that one too that I just put out concerning the coronavirus thing. Would you like to hear that?
Can we hear that? Yeah, I want to hear that version. Yeah.
All right, I'll do it for you. You want me to do it now?
Please, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gene Ski.
There's a lot of that coronavirus going around. We gotta start staying 6 feet around. Lock those hands and keep them down. We don't want to spread that virus around. Let's put that old coronavirus down. And everybody staying 6 feet around. Yeah. Now wash those hands and keep them away from your face. We want to be the ones that win that race. Won't be long, there'll be a vaccine. We're going to take it when this thing. Let's put that old coronavirus down. Everybody staying 6 feet around. Yeah. I think it's time we stop having on the floor. Old President Trump making the right call. Because of his decision, a lot of us are still living. Stop and give that man a round of applause. Now some said that Trump was the worst. He put the safety of the people first. Stop and give that man a round of applause. This ain't the time for political gain. People are dying in vain. Let's put that old coronavirus down. Everybody stay 6 feet around. Yeah, let's put that old coronavirus down. Everybody stay 6 feet around. Yeah, put that old coronavirus down.
Oh, there you go. 6 foot around. Gene Ski. That's awesome.
That was awesome, sir.
I didn't know you were such a political activist there, my friend. Hey, you know what, Gene? I noticed. I just was poking around on the internet. You have another song on Bandcamp, and I want people to go there and buy the song. So you can get those dollar downloads. I hope that money's going to you. Is that? Do you have just one song on Bandcamp?
What's called For the Freedom.
Okay. Well, I'm going to direct people to that. I want them to go listen to it. As soon as we're done, I'm going to post the link to that so they can go to Bandcamp. Gene, thank you for being on the show. I know there's a lot of people who are watching it right now who are just thrilled to finally get to see you and to see what you look like, to hear what you sound like these days. And it's an honor to talk to you. If it's okay, you did a song for us during soundcheck. Can we hear that and we'll take you out with that song? The song we did earlier this evening?
Welcome to the Bottom?
Yeah. You mind playing that one again?
Okay. Sure. I said welcome to the bottom where you sunk in so low. All your friends have all left you and you know where to go. If you not alone in your despair, down at the bottom, nobody cares. That rain is falling, oh, it's so cold. just like your heart is. Don't you know if you're not alone in your despair down at the bottom, nobody cares. Down at that bottom, you got the memory. Where it says you know how you rather be. If you're not alone in your despair, down at the bottom, nobody cares. I said, you're not alone in your despair, down at the bottom, you know God is there. God is there. God is there. God is there. God is there.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a gooder there, buddy. Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Gene Ski. Gene, thank you so much for being on the show here. We all appreciate it here, don't we, guys?
I love it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to keep in touch, and once the world opens back up again, we'll let folks know where they can go see you perform and where they can find your music. So thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Well, thank you, Big Sandy and Paul and John. Pleasure to meet you too. Maybe one day we can get down the road. We'll all meet in person.
Yes, sir.
Then, bless you and take care.
God bless you, my
sir.
friend. We'll see you.
Nice
Bye-bye.
work. All right, friends. That was Gene Ski. And, hey, Big Sandy, that's pretty good, man. You're bringing people back. What was the song that he did, 6 Foot Down, right? And why is that such a hit? And like everyone's playing that in the clubs now?
It's a bopper. I just the DJ, gets the people on the dance floor. But to me, I just like the theme of it. Just a song about being buried under the dirt. And you better cover me over with heavy ground because he's gonna try to you can't keep him down because he's gonna come bounding back.
Yeah, kind of BA. All right, friends. So let's see. We got Cherry Red coming up next. Yeah.
I wanted to interrupt you really quick. I just wanted to say my heroes and our good friends, Jim and Jimbo, the Reverend Horton Heat, they're doing their show on Stage It tonight, 8:15 California time. So 15 minutes after the show's over, head on over to Stage It. And then once again, we just want to tell you, also going on tomorrow is the Electric American Roots, put on by Stellar Shows. It's going to be hosted by Kid Ramos and Rod Piazza and a bunch of other really heavy. So now we have Cherry Rat standing by.
All right, yeah. Oh, we got Cherry Rat. Hey, before we get to Cherry Rat, remember, we got our PayPal. You can hit that or our Venmo. Help us out with the financial considerations. And let's see, if you're kind and get $10 or more, you're going to get one of these lovely stickers sent to you. And it's made of vinyl, sticks on your car, doesn't fade. Good, high quality. So you're making a good deal off of this thing by getting that sticker, if you like. But if not, hey, you know what? We got our friend Cherry Rat here. Paul, could you kind of tell us a little bit about Cherry Rat before we bring her on the show?
All right. So I've been privileged to share a few bills with Cherry Rat. Her rockabilly band is awesome. The first time I saw them was one of my favorite arrangements. They didn't have a drummer. It was acoustic guitar, upright bass, and electric guitar, kind of high noon style. And that immediately, and obviously, she's very easy to watch, but that made me stand out immediately. It was like, okay, boom, no drums, high rockabilly, And then I got to see her at Viva add, a former Delta Bombers drummer on, and it made the set that much better. It made it really cool. They still rock. And she is also from Brazil. So
right on.
it's pretty awesome if she's out here doing some American music. So here she is, Cherry Rat.
Hey, Cherry Rat, how you doing?
I'm good. What about you guys?
We're doing all right. You sound a little overmodulated. Maybe you could turn the mic down a little bit.
Turn the mic down a little.
Yeah.
Turn the mic down.
Yeah, I think we're good about, yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah, that's better now. Yeah.
Okay.
The mic sounds good, and I'll be honest with you, Cherry Rat, you look delightful. I'll be honest with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I won't argue.
So, you told me that you are from Brazil. Now you're in Vegas working, doing your music there. Before we get started, can you tell me a little bit about Brazil, and is that where you got into vintage music and started your musical style back over there? What's it like in Brazil?
Yes, I started liking listening to rockabilly back in 2009, so it's been a few years. I was living in Brazil back then. We had a little group of people into the style, but I also used to live in a very, very small city over there. That I moved to São Paulo, which is the biggest city in Brazil, and the scene then is a little bit bigger, and we have a lot of bands, we have a lot of great musicians over there, but it's hard for us because we don't have the same visibility as artists from America.
Yeah. So is that what led you to come to the U.S. for the music? Is that why you came here?
Yeah, for the music, for the lifestyle, because here you can find like the old cars, the real vintage stuff and everything. And over there you can, but first of all, it's very expensive. And second of all, it's a little bit harder to find. So. Yeah.
And also I heard that you, on the side, you're a musician by trade, but you also do a little bit of modeling, which is not hard to believe. And if you give me a quick list of who you modeled for.
Well, I'm actually modeling for Steady clothing. I do some jobs with Suavecita for makeup and stuff like that. Vivian of Holloway from Europe. I just got a Lola Ramona shoes to model. So there's a lot of brands. I try to work with brands in the rockabilly style, but sometimes I do other stuff too. So it's a mix of everything.
Yeah. Now, me and Paul are in bands, and so it's obviously Big Sandy. And is it hard to get you to be on our album cover? What would that take? Would that take, would I have to trade a car for it, or what would I have to do to get Cherry Rat to be on the cover of my CD? Dinero.
Just invite me. I'm not Big Sandy. I'm not that famous. So for me, it's easy.
I'm not Big Sandy either.
Cherry, can you maybe share a little bit of the perspective, talking about, just like the similarities of like the struggle of, people wanting you to play for exposure in music, and they want you to model for exposure sometimes. I've seen you post, being pretty stern about that and, keeping your ground, like, hey, you can commission me like a professional. I love that you do that. Can you just kind of share that fight with us?
Yeah, it's complicated because, especially for photography and modeling, because people think it's super easy. Like, you just get ready, put it on, take a picture. But it's not just like that. There's a lot involved. You have to have a photographer. You have to have a good lighting. You have to have a day for you to get ready and do the proper makeup. It's a lot of product involved, a lot of time. So, of course, some brands, we do trading. They give me the products for free. I'll take some pictures for them. But it's like the shows. If you pay me, it's going to be a lot better.
Thank you for that. I mean, it's good to hear.
Well, Cherry, okay, we covered the modeling thing, and that's kind of a given. You got your guitar in your hand. Would you mind proving to the people that you know how to play your rock and roll? I'd love to hear a song.
Of course. I'm going to play a song that we actually recorded with Bob Flix, and it's called The Road. On this road, I remember My dark soul is ready to go. With my old friend, I already know. I pulled the trigger too many times. I'm thinking it on my grinds. I'm running from my destiny. The death is chasing me. On this road, let's keep it going. I remember every heart I broke, but I was cool. I didn't care. My friend is coming and I am prepared. I pulled the trigger too many times. I'm thinking it on my grinds. I'm running from my destiny. The death is chasing me. But this time I won't get away. It's my time and I'm gonna stay. I pulled the trigger too many times. I'm thinking it on my grinds. I'm running from my destiny. The death is chasing me. The death is chasing me. The death is chasing me.
That's fantastic. That was really nice.
Thank you.
It's such an atmospheric song. You just get so many images in your head. Do you think that way when you're coming up with the song, or you're putting the song together? That is it a visual thing for you? Because a lot of what you do comes across that way. And when you do a video, it's so expressive visually. Do you think in those terms?
Yeah. When I'm writing the song, I have the story in my head, and maybe it's like writing a book. I think people, when they write books, they have the story in their head and they just put it down. For me, with songs, it's the same thing. I can see it happening and then I write it down. And when I'm singing it, it's the same thing.
Yeah, well, I'm picking up on that.
Yeah. And I just got to say, this is Cherry Rat. People are asking, like, who is this? Who is this singer that maybe they've never seen you before? That Cherry Rat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what have you got there?
This is my album. This is the first one. It's called Bob to the Hell. We recorded it in 2014, and it's on my website, cherryrat.com. We have some merch there. We have T-shirts. We have, a little bit of everything, pins and stickers, and, this is my new T-shirt. I want to show you guys because
do it.
Why not?
Oh, look at that.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the new one. We also have the one that is the same as the album. And we have pins and stickers and patches and everything. So if you want to help us, just cherryrat.com and get some merch over there.
I will say, guys,
Yeah.
Bob to the Hell is a really good album. I've had it, on shuffle on, a bunch of the tours I've gone on. It's great. Great original music. It is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to say, a couple people are saying, hey, solid writing, vocals, and instrumental. They love your stuff. Someone else says, hey, man, it's real. Benny Gamal says, atmospheric. And Jessica Fleming says, tilt your camera down, girl. We want to see your guitar.
My guitar is right here, baby.
That's great.
Sorry about that. I have so many things plugged in on my phone now. It's kind of...
I think it's quite all right myself. But I like I like the backdrop. The whole setting is nice. That's why I think everything you do is visually. I mean, obviously it sounds fantastic, but you think about the whole picture. I think.
Yeah. Well, especially because I'm into modeling, I have to think about what's on the back, the lighting on my face, everything. And when I'm doing the music, I think the same. And also, I have my bass player right here with me. And he is very annoying with all of that. So he helps me a lot with everything. He's very perfectionist with everything. So I love having him here with me to help me.
Great.
But I think the burning question that I'm seeing on these comments of people asking, I want to put the question to you. Do you think I would have a future in modeling myself?
Well, of course. That picture of us that we posted? Damn, we look great.
Well, let's talk about that. Every year we take a picture together at Viva Las Vegas.
Yes, we have an annual picture.
But just talking about Vegas, we weren't able to do that this year. And that's something that we all look forward to, and it's our gathering place for and living in Vegas. What has the shutdown meant for you there?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really go to the Strip, so that part is not making much difference for me.
Okay.
But not having Viva this year was heartbreaking, was very sad, and we planned this the whole year. As soon as it ends, we start planning for next year. So I believe the next one is gonna be epic because everyone will be so excited for it. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I have my tickets right here on my fridge, just waiting for next year.
That's great. And then, so as far as playing, where has music taken you? Have you guys done the European tours, and have you played down south to Brazil and all that, or where's Cherry Rat taken you?
To be honest with you, we played in Brazil in a lot of different states and cities. And then I moved to the U.S., and here we played, of course, Vegas, California, Nashville. We went to Memphis. I played with some guys over there for the Ameripolitan Musical Arts.
Oh, that's right.
And now that I'm ready to do some European tours, we got the lockdown, so the quarantine. We're waiting for that to be over so we can plan some tours in Europe and everywhere.
Yeah. And as far as go ahead, Big Sandy, go ahead.
I was just following up of what you were saying. Yeah, 2021 will be your year. I promise you. Yeah. And my year, and all of our years, because it's going to come bounding back in a gigantic way. You're right. You're right with what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, and I think we should collab. All of us make a very crazy rock and roll song and just put it out there for our fans.
What the We Are the World of Rockabilly? Some people have been doing things like that, not on that scale, but I've seen people who have been being very creative and sending parts to other people and working on
collabs and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen many great videos, and for me right now, I actually did a collab with a friend in Brazil and stuff like that. I'm still waiting for him to come up with a video idea or something so we can put it up. But right now, because my bass player, which is also a very good guitar player, and
that annoying guy,
the annoying guy, exactly. He's my roommate, so we recorded a song. It's a cover song, and we made a quick video at home. So I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube probably on Monday or Tuesday. So I just want people to check it out. YouTube.com/cherryrat. You're gonna find me over there. We're gonna pull it up. We're gonna put it up real soon.
Cool. And then you got one other thing I noticed when I was doing my research for our interview for Cherry Rat. I saw that you guys were doing a little bit of live streaming. And how is that going? And when's your next live stream? And how'd that turn out for you?
Well, we did our first one on the very first week of the quarantine. It was great. It was excellent. We have a lot of people commenting, sharing, and showing some love. Then we did a second one for a Brazilian website. They were doing a bunch of lives every day at the same time, different artists. So we did for them too. Then last week we did another live. I want to do another one, probably next week. I don't know yet because, bars and restaurants and stuff like that are reopening. So we don't know how it's going to be from now on. So we are trying to pick like the best time to do it.
Yeah. Well, we're just about to the end of our time because we got the Rev is coming up with his show in a couple minutes. Guys, do you have any other questions before? Maybe we could have another song before we leave.
I would love to hear another song.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll do a little bit of a song called Love Hate. When you said you are mine, but I see it in your eyes. It's just another lie. It's not a roller coaster, and you can stop now. When everything's okay, it's upside down. You play with my heart, and it let me down. I know you were lying to me. Oh yeah, babe, you can lie, but I'll never believe I lied to you. You are nothing to me. Oh yeah, babe, I can lie. And you ever believe? And you will ever believe? And you will ever believe?
Hey, nice work.
Awesome.
It's a little bit of it. You guys can look on YouTube. There's the whole video of this song over there.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
Yeah,
you
but there's
so
something
much.
special about hearing it live and directly like this. So thanks for doing that.
Of course, thank you for having me on the show. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Cherry Rat, smack a hand. Nice work. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks, J-Rat. See you later.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, guys, let's put Big Sandy and me and Paul, we're all up on the screen together. That concludes another West Coast Ramble, friends. Is there anything else we need to say other than go to PayPal or Venmo and help us out?
And if you can, jump over to the Reverend Horton Heat Show on stageit.com. He's on in 10 minutes from now. And tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah. Who have you guys got planned for? Who's going to play? We got someone from Menudo going to be on our show, or who do we got?
Yes, actually, the entire Menudo cast
With Ricky Martin?
from beginning to end. Yes, we're going to have all the old ones, even the current ones. You might have not know that they were still going, but they are, and they're all going to be with us tomorrow. Next Saturday night.
No, man. I want to thank our guests. I want to thank our guests this time. We had some great guests. I love Becky. Lynn is so fun, dude. That's so fun. Sitting in a bathtub, great vocals, Cherry Rat, and Gene Ski. Want to thank him very much, and thanks Robert for us introducing all of us to him. That was great. Thank you, sir.
What Becky didn't mention, we talked last night. She borrowed that wash tub from Iggy Pop.
What?
I swear to God.
Like, is it like next door neighbor or something?
I can't say any more than that.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, guys.
I'm just joking.
All right, friends. That's the end of our show. Help us out.
Hey, we're gonna have another giveaway real quick.
Oh, what is it, sir? Talk to me.
Okay. Let's. We are going to give away this.
This fragile sticker.
Yeah.
Fragile.
Are you going to sign it?
Yes.
All right, friends. With that done, I'm going to put up the graphic and I'm going to play our music, and we are out. Thank you very much for watching West Coast Ramble. We'll see you next week. And here we go.